on the black table, we have a reputation of being there for men and, supporting men. But you are a relationship expert. And before we dive into our quick fire for today, let's talk about your experiences in, in what you do.
Okay, so I always try to say, I say relationship is serious business, right? Most people think of relationship in these guys. As a guy, I see fine girl, I like fine girl, I follow fine girl agree, we flow. Regular, that's regular flows for relationship.
Yeah.
Now, but it's deeper than that.
Okay.
Relationships have to do with, it has to do with two different genres, two different species trying to journey together. Now, what that brings is that with every relationship, you must come to terms with the uniqueness and the specific differences between the genders, between the two people involved in the relationship. So, yes, men will have their challenges, women will have their challenges. Is any of them better than the other? I don't think so. And having seen it, with a number of years, I've done a relationship for decades, almost 2 decades now, and I've gotten professional and have people come into my office and we discuss these things. And sometimes you see the part where the man is really struggling, and the only reason he's struggling is because he can't cry out.
Okay.
He cannot, because men are supposed to be
tough,
macho. Society has taught us that, hey, big boys don't cry. Society, culture tells us the man is the head of the house. So, but because you are the head of the house, everybody assumes you are not supposed to have a weakness.
Okay.
And any show or any sense of weakness, even the woman will use it against you.
Take advantage of it. But quick question. So when is it okay for a man to stop and walk away? Because I can bet that in your experiences, there would have been certain situations that you're like, okay, you know what, you guys have given it everything. Maybe it's time you go, separately.
You see, it's interesting the way when you ask the question, when is it okay for a man to walk away? The question actually should be, when is it okay for anyone to walk away? Because actually, it's not just the man that walks away.
Yeah, we want to speak for men, So I'm asking for the men.
I think it comes from a place where most relationships, we hear that the woman is the one that is saying she wants to leave, she can't handle it anymore.
Yeah.
So for men, it's like we're in a position whereby, when can we actually call it quits? When can we justify
that it's done.
That it's okay to leave, And once a woman says she's leaving, you're like, the man must have done something wrong at the same time. The question I wanted to give you is, when I meet people that are like in your profession, there's this assumption now, like you said, you're very married for 17 years. There's this assumption that because you're a professional in relationships, your relationship is close to perfect. Like there's nothing wrong. You've gotten it right. Let me not lie to you. I don't listen to any relationship person that's not in a relationship. When I find out you're single, when I find out that you've broken up and you're a single person giving relationship advice, doesn't make sense. So when I see somebody that gives these relationship things and has been married for 17 years, is there a secret that you're applying to just yourself and your loved one?
Okay, so
or what?
Let me answer the two questions with one answer. You can walk away when you can't fight anymore.
Oh, okay.
Because if you did a bit of physics or a bit of chemistry, you'll find out that in order to combine two elements, there's something called fission. It means that a lot of energy, a lot of force, a lot of power, it's needed to combine two elements. That's what happens in a marriage. And in order to break it, a lot of power
is also
required.
Oh, okay.
So the moment you are not able to generate any power to keep fighting, then the relationship is not going to work, because every marriage works because there are people willing to work it.
To make it work.
If the moment one or two people are not willing to work anymore, it stops working. So at that point,
I think you just simplified it, and I love the fact that you simplified it. But Becky, you have something to add?
Something to that. You see, I like to powerfully combine what you said with what you said, you know, like two elements.
Powerful man.
But you know, the thing is this, right? First and foremost, you see, when there's an idea that a man should be at fault for a woman to leave, that's already a fault.
It's a flaw.
It's a flaw in that, you know, that
Ideology,
thought process
yeah.
or that ideology at all. Because what you must understand is this. I personally am of the opinion that I give you time. I take whatever it is that you know, throw at me for as long as I can. When I get to the point where my back is against the wall, I will stop.
Okay.
I don't care what you say. I don't care if I'm the one at fault. But what is important is that I am a communicative person. I'm somebody who has, you know, constant conversations, which essentially means that if you have done something wrong to me, I am saddled with the responsibility of letting you understand that this thing that you're doing, I'm not comfortable with this. Do you understand? I may have done that the wrong way, i.e. screamed about it, gotten upset about it, shrugged about it, walked out, slammed the door. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For the first time, you come to me and tell me that I know that you're upset, but this and this and this is what you did that I didn't like.
Okay.
I will kick you. The next time you do it, I will bring down my voice and tell you again, this is what I told you that I don't like. Please adjust. You tell me, is that why you're now telling me, we were just joking before? I have already passed my message. The third time that you do it, I would keep quiet and not say anything because I've tried shouting, I've tried. So I'm trying different approaches. When I realize that I have exhausted the approach, I will pipe down. Okay. And then when the back is against the wall, I will do what? I will walk away.
That sounds
And
like
so
that sounds like my relationship with this guy, yeah. We had a conversation I think 2 days ago, and he's saying he's going to be out of town and all of that. He's going to Uyo, and I'm like, oh bro, I'm going to go to Uyo with you, and it's like, yeah, sure, if you want to come. But this guy is going to the US, and he invite me, like.
Okay, he invited you to
Uyo. Well, it's not like
he
that
invited you to
now.
Uyo, but he didn't invite you to the US.
But wait, let me ask you a question.
Wait.
Is it not from crawling that a child will walk?
Wow.
Come on, man.
Wow, you had to go there.
Okay, so you
had
just
to
called
go
me a
there.
child, but it's fine.
You had to go
We'll take
there.
our first fire. It's even a good thing that he went there. Now,
Can I
on
ask one more
social,
question?
yes, please.
So at which point or which stage can a man now invite another woman into the equation?
Fantastic. You know, it's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I was going to add something to what
Dex
he said, what
yeah.
Dex said. You see, that's the thing, and that's where I'm going to try another cog into the wheel, which is the fact that a lot of us we have been conditioned by culture,
All right.
right? And because of this condition, let me say, culture is not a bad thing. Culture is the way of life of a people, right? But we've been conditioned by culture, and there's a culture that makes it okay, right, to do certain things. Yeah. So as a man, just take it. But when in my practice, we actually say, you actually shouldn't wait until your back gets to the wall. Now, everybody, you've been married for a few years, I've been married for a few years. But you know, when you begin to get to a certain age, they tell you have to do annual health check.
Yeah.
You have to check. You have to check yourself annually every year. How many people do an annual marital check?
I like that.
Do you understand? And that's what we do in my practice, so that your back doesn't get to the wall. You know, you're a communication specialist, but in my practice, I found that sometimes the woman is saying honey, but you are hearing monkey. So she's saying the right things, but communication is not only when the right things have been said, but the right things must also be assumed to be heard.
Yeah.
So that's communication. Yeah. So when you bring another factor into it, we are saying, my father used to say something. My father used to say that if you don't want problem in this life as a man, don't get married. He says, but if you feel you are mature enough to handle problem, marry one.
Marry one problem.
One. Because inside that one woman is all the problem you will need to make you a fully mature man. Because your ability to handle that woman will make you able to handle many other things in your life. So if you take another woman, you have taken more than you were designed to handle.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That was getting really deep. Thank you. So, our first quick fire says this: don't give these kids this type of publicity. Let's talk to the kid, not Rundown. Dotun, of course, formerly of Cool FM, tells Adesokwe after he addressed Runtown's following Peller's live video. There was a video of Peller, social media influencer on, I think, TikTok, whereby he called a Nigerian music artist, Runtown, a up-and-coming artist. Of course, Runtown is someone who was among the first crop of modern, Afrobeat artists who influenced what is going on in today's world. And of course, Adesokwe felt that was disrespectful for it to call someone up and coming, because he's been a bit out of the limelight for a while. And while he was addressing the video from Peller, Dotun, of course, also another strong on-air personality, said, okay, you know what, this isn't about addressing things this way. Let's correct the young man for having a wrong perception. I remember there was somewhere I was at a concert some time back, and I remember how excited I was when one of the artists wanted to perform, and the person that was with me was like, who's this person? Yeah, the person, who's this person? Because I mean, the person's time has kind of like passed, and I guess that's what the situation is. So with this particular thing, Peller is a young man, and of course, perhaps he missed when Runtown was at the top of
his game,
the game, and the industry itself. Do you think it was disrespectful for Peller to say that? And do you think it was also okay for everyone to give their 10 cents about it?
Okay. You're looking at me. Okay. Yeah. All right. So
he loves starting with you.
Okay. So you think
I beef the guy.
So the thing is this, right? Knowing who Peller is, and knowing his pedigree and where he started from, it's taking a bit of time for him to get used to his new life, which essentially means that he needs to now walk on eggshells, whatever he says, how he says it, whatever he does, how he does it. These are things that are thoroughly scrutinized. Now, we forget the essential part, which is the fact that this boy is just a young guy.
Yeah,
he's just a young boy, very young, who literally came into fame on a specific app. Unknowingly. Do you understand what I'm saying? It wasn't like he dove into acting or music or what have you. He just started talking on a platform in a very funny way, and people just fell in love with him, and they love his craft and what he does. He's doing a great job. That's the truth. But the pressure that we put on people who we consider celebrities sometimes can be a lot. This is one of such situations. He's a young guy. The platform to which he was talking, he was literally gisting with somebody on that platform. It was like, we're just gisting. And she asked the question, right? And the question was answered spontaneously, like, that one no be that one upcoming. Because in actual fact, I'm not sure that he knew who Runtown was.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Now, another thing is that we watch videos haphazardly and make decisions. If you had watched the full video, he said, I don't know, say Naim, I know that song. So they played his song, and then he agreed, I know that, this one don't blow to things. You understand? The person who we're talking about probably didn't even realize that it was the person you were talking about. Runtown is not a name that is as bold as what it used to be in maybe like 3 to 4 to 5 years ago. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, and the interesting part is that he said, oh wow, this person don't blow. He corrected himself. Okay. So I don't see why we should now take nail and hammer and crucify the boy.
So but the thing is this, I feel that if you have a platform, whether it's on social media or any other available platform, you need to be careful with your choice of the things you say, especially when it involves other people.
Yes, you're correct.
You're correct that he quickly mentioned.
No. So the person the person intimated him on who Runtown was, because he clearly didn't know who Runtown was.
Yes.
It's a different thing. It's a different thing if somebody called.
What we're saying is.
So wait, hold on.
It's
a different thing if someone calls Davido and says, Davido, that one, are upcoming artist.
No. You let me.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Let me land. What I'm saying is this: even if you do not know who Runtown is, are you entitled to call this person up and coming? Because you're coming from.
Everybody has an opinion.
Wait. You're coming from a very ignorant point. You don't know this person. So
okay.
So yes, gang, you want to say something?
Yeah. See, here's the thing.
Everybody has an opinion. No?
Everybody has an opinion, but here's the thing.
Do you know that somebody who has blown to you might not have blown to me?
Wait, let's say gang. Let's say gang
somewhere. You see, I've said this on the show sometimes of how the wrong people are made famous. Right? Now, this Peller boy, when I heard the story, he's doing his thing on whatever platform he is, and he's seizing that opportunity. When I heard the comment, I thought he was trying to be funny.
Yeah.
Comical. Calling somebody that has paved the way for so many an upcoming artist in this day and age. So I just took it as humor. Now, what Shopper was saying, like, to an extent, we can give him a pass because we say of ignorance.
Yeah.
Right? And what Dotun was saying was sometimes, Shopper was saying, was kind of like, now, if you're a Runtown fan, if you're a fan of Runtown, this is the honest truth.
That's disrespectful. Yeah.
It's disrespectful, but as a fan of Runtown, we have wanted more from him.
Yeah.
We've wanted more music. We've wanted more bodies of work. He's been able to drop songs here, there, and that. We've been looking for
the same level of impact.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
We've been wanting so many projects, but we've known the controversies and issues he's had in the industry, label-wise and other things that hindered certain things. We know he's gifted and talented. So that was where Shopper was coming in, trying to call out Runtown to say, yo, you're hearing, somebody's calling you out, so drop something. Give us some music. Show these young people one or two things.
Who you are, yeah.
So Dotun was coming from the aspect that sometimes forget the artist and the established individual. Educate these young people to have a certain level of respect, have decorum, have something when you're speaking about people that have been in this industry way before you. There are certain artists that have had one-hit wonders. That even we had Tosin Martins on the show.
Yeah.
He has so many songs, but he's known for that
big 20 years ago.
That big wedding song. Do you understand?
Blow me.
So so we had him on the show. So give respect to people like that have been able to do it that way, and don't disrespect them. So Dotun was coming from a place where I can say I agree with him that sometimes you need to tell these young people to put them in their place to a certain extent and check them first before you kind of support what they're saying. Do you understand? Before you kind of support what they're saying and saying, oh, look at what they're disrespecting old heads, people that have paved the way. But if you're a Runtown fan, and I'm saying this now as a fan, I have always wanted more from him. As I speak now, I'm waiting for him to drop his next song, his next project, because he's a talented artist, and we believe he would give us something that's worth the play.
All right, thank you, gang. Quickly, Kinsley, what's your thought on this?
You know, for me, I think everybody deserves respect now, and in saying that, I'm saying the fact that there are a lot of factors at play.
Yeah.
Everything you see on social media is subject to interpretation by somebody's opinion that can afford 2 gig data. He will give an opinion on it.
Okay.
Somebody that has a platform will give an opinion on it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're not even a lot of people you just have different opinions, but everybody deserves respect. And sometimes, like he said, even in the expression of your ideology, you have to respect whether even when you are on the opposite side of a thought, you have to respect the ideology. You have to respect. There's this part where this part where I like. It says, always have in readiness to give an answer to everyone who asks you for the reason for your convictions, but do it with dignity and with respect.
Wow, thank you. On that note, we'll take a quick break.
This guy, why is gone?
Like, wow. We'll take a quick break. It's still the Black Table, the Ultimate Men's Guide. And when we return, we'll be focusing on our main topic for today, which is black tax. All right, would you rather have a partner who expects you to be the provider or one who earns more than you and makes all the financial decisions? Now I'm going to be asking the guys quickly their take on it, but...
Oh, this question is for men.
Oh, it's for men.
It sounds like it was a question for men.
No, it's a question for men. I'm going to be asking Kingsley first. What are your thoughts on that?
Interesting question. I think I can actually deal with both.
Okay.
Because I've experienced both.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
I've experienced both. I've experienced when you're doing well and you are the breadwinner. And I've experienced in our relationship where bread no day. But you still have to be the man.
Okay.
So I think I've experienced both. So both, I can't even say which one I would prefer.
Okay.
Yeah, because since I've experienced both, I know the feeling and I know what I had to do. So both of them, I had to do a lot of work in order to sustain.
To have some sort of stability.
In order to stabilize. So I can't pick really.
Okay. All right,
if I haven't experienced it, then maybe I would have a preference.
I understand. So, Deck, your thoughts on that?
I know what rich uncle will say.
Rich uncle isn't here. I'm asking you, not rich uncle.
So you know the thing is this, right? Honestly, I like he said, I can be on both ends of the question, and I'll say that because I am not the kind of man who is afraid for my wife to take control. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm comfortable with my wife taking control, which is essentially why I got married to her in the first place, because I knew. And I told her, I want you to be in a position where you can take control whether or not I'm around.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So I can be on both ends of the ride. Literally.
Okay, so I am not getting any answers tonight. Gang, is that the same thing?
So I can take both. Me too, I can do both. Bars,
yeah, I like that.
To be honest, similar to something that he said, I've experienced both. And I love the woman that I married. Do you understand? Because she has held it down in certain times that it needed to be held down. But I've said something similar to this show. If I had my way, my wife would never work a day in her life.
Thank you.
You get me? If I had my way, my wife would not. She'll have people at her beck and call. If I had my way. But here's the thing. The kind of woman that I married doesn't want to sit and be receiving and receiving and receiving.
Exactly.
My wife wants to put into the world and give back a certain amount that I can't hold her down. So even though I could take care of everything, there's some things that she still wants to do. So I would say yes, I would love to be the provider and keep giving and giving. I am a giver, spender. My wife is a saver. And of course, if it keeps coming in, she doesn't have a problem. But I just can't have her sitting on her back doing nothing.
Thank you very much.
I like what he said. I'm sorry. I wanted to add something. Piggyback from what he said about the woman. You have to put her in the conversation in making that decision. Because a lot of times we think that the concept of giving only has to do with money. So providing goes beyond money. Oh, of course, I learned that in the school of hard knocks when money wasn't coming in, but I still had to be the man. So at that time, my wife was working. I was working for making money, yes. But I lost the job.
Enough.
I lost the job. I got fired. And all my hustle was not, and I had to be the man. But in being the man, I learned that as a man, you provide for beyond the finances. You provide security, you provide stability, you provide comfort, you provide care. So you see, the man actually, in that season, I carried on so many things that made her comfortable enough that even though she was the one working the money, I was the manager of resources.
So I like where you went to, and I just quickly add something. You see, in order for you to be with a woman who is in charge, you must be a stronger man. That's it.
Wisdom.
Yes, sir.
Very much,
yes, sir.
Thank you. Our main topic tonight is about black tax. For those who don't understand what that is, black tax is a term that originated in South Africa and refers to money that black workers, especially professionals and other people from that region do. Is that it's a way to give to, family members, their parents, siblings, or, out of obligation or a deeply ingrained sense of family ties and all of that. And what is trending on social media is a statement from Asake's father, and it goes like this. I am Asake's father. Please come and help me. I'm seriously sick, down with stroke. And, that video went around with different people having their different takes, even though later on and earlier on today, Asake did a video singing, talking about whatever you want to do it for God and all of that. And, it's brought this conversation on about black tax. I'm going to start with you. Outside of your immediate family, which other people in your circle of, your family do you take care of, that you're obligated to do certain things for?
I think that question is very funny. I'm saying it's funny because if you are a Nigerian, I don't know whether I think it is it's a tax that you pay that you don't even know that you are paying. Okay. Because it has become part of your the moment you marry. For example, the moment you marry, because in our culture it's like if you marry, you have become a responsible man.
All of the things that come with that.
The moment that happens, a lot of things just come naturally. Some uncle, brother, sister, auntie, cousin, father's nephew, comes into the picture.
I'm saying the large picture now.
Yeah. So that comes in, and it's like normal. So
you're not answering my question.
So I'm getting there. To say that if you're a Nigerian, it's normal. So for me, it is normal that there is a family member that will have a need, and it will get to your doorstep. There is a friend. There are people that are mentees. So I have many circles in which I exist, and in all of those circles, there are different ways in which I also must support, because it's like the way we've been raised. It's like it's normal.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So it's not something that you will say that I have to break my head too much to find out whether I am going to pay it or not. Is that you have a system, for me, we created a system for which we meet that need. But is it normal? Yes.
It's normal
in this our side.
All right, gang, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's normal? And then can anyone really hold you accountable for taking care of siblings, extended family members, of course your parents, your wife's parents, our own extended family members?
Let me bring it to something that he had mentioned earlier as well, in terms of culture. Now there's a side to Nigerian culture that is so. There's a word I want to use, but it's a very offensive word, so I don't want to say it on the show. But your financial status basically dictates some of the responsibility bestowed on you. You've seen households whereby an older brother can't really say much to his younger brother because his younger brother is more wealthy. So the older brother doesn't have the resources. So nobody looks at him in terms of providing things for extended family. They look at the younger brother that can afford to do it. And that gives him some kind of stance as well in the family.
Gives me a voice.
I think financially, if you're blessed in general, in life, if you're blessed with certain resources, blessed with certain things, you're also burdened with the responsibility of taking care of certain things as well. For example, a man leaves his mother and father to start his own family. Doesn't mean that he's not close to his mother or father anymore. You get where I'm coming from? Of course, you're looking at your immediate family, your wife and your children. Somebody like myself, that I'm a twin. Sometimes people are like, how close are you to your twin brother? One or two things, and that kind of situation. Who am I closer to? Are you closer to your mom? Are you closer to your twin? Are you closer to your wife? As a man, are you closer to your kids? Especially for people like me that have two girls. That's another story for another time. But you get where I'm coming from. So I would say if you can afford it, it shouldn't be a big deal if you take on certain responsibilities. In Asake's case, it's kind of different. Because sometimes I feel, if you're my father, where were you in my life growing up?
Yeah.
Contributing to my life and so many things.
That's what
Now that I have
like-
been fortunate enough to blow, it's now a big deal that I'm not doing
taking
A,
care
B,
of
and
you.
C, D.
Yeah.
But who were you? There's some things, let me not lie to you. If you see a parent that has to beg their child to do something for them,
You have
you
to
need
ask
to
questions.
question
Big
how that
questions.
parent raised
Yeah.
that child.
You have to ask questions.
How were you raised?
Dick, quick one. You are clearly following the story. And,
All right, so this topic has now become an annual topic because we took this topic last year on the Black Table. And I get a little bit emotional about this because this is directly, affecting me. You see, there is this ideology in the Yoruba tradition that, ọmọ tó bá tọ́jú, òbí tó bá tọ́jú ọmọ, ọmọ á tọ́jú ẹ̀. What that means is that if you, as a parent, if you take care of your child, if you do well for your child will grow up and take care of you. Now, that is supposedly an idea. It doesn't, it is not a legal binding decision that says that
because
I took care of you, you have to take care of me.
Yeah.
So you see, we must cut the clear lines between entitlement and understanding that this child has mercy and this child loves me to be able to do for me because that child has. Another thing we must take consideration of is the fact that people fail to realize, like you said, what if the person who we expect to be responsible for us does not have the means to be responsible? Does that mean that that person is irresponsible? Or does that person, does it mean that that person is a bad person? Now, let's narrow it down to Asake. There are reports online that says that that man took care of the child growing up. Fantastic. That's great. It is their responsibility. They are saddled with the responsibility of taking care of their child. The child did not beg them to give birth to.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is your responsibility to take care of your child when you give birth to that child. You had a plan to give birth. All right? This is one of the reasons why I don't want to say that it's a wicked thing, because I'm a bit sentimental when it comes to childbearing. So even if I'm fighting with you and you tell me that my wife gave birth or I just give birth, there's something in my heart that, okay, you know what? I was fighting with you, but let me put that aside. I'll give you something. Because children are very dear to me. However, why do we have men who impregnate women for 9 months, and on the 9th month, you are asking for money for delivery? You had 9 months to take care of the child, to take care of the bill.
For the bill.
To prepare for the bill. Let's narrow it down to this Asake again. You see, Ashake's father could have taken care of Asake to the point where he said, I don't have anything anymore. Go and do whatever you want to do. Get out from my side. I've tried. What if Asake did not make it? What if Asake was turned into,
Didn't blow.
It didn't blow.
Yeah.
What if he was Runtown?
Will the father come outside now and say, did I just hear what he said?
Let me do this to you.
Let's forgive you. Let's forgive you.
Be careful.
Do you understand what I'm saying? My point is, what if this person did not have the grace that he got? My mind is telling me that this story is not complete. You know why? Because Asake sang, he did not respond. He just sang.
Could the song have been a response?
The song could have been an indirect way of saying that, but I'm trying. Maybe because it took a while for me to respond, you went online to make me feel bad. You see, what you must understand, and this is one of the reasons why I get a little bit edgy when it comes to black tax. I hate entitlement spirits. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I will do what I need to do as a child for my parents. Unfortunately, I've lost my dad. I still have my mom. But the thing now is, my mom comes with a lot of baggages. I'm an only child of my mom and my dad, so I have step siblings. So that means that my mom is coming with a number of people. She's coming with my younger ones. She's coming with her sisters. She's coming with a lot of other people.
And as a premium MC.
Now, I mentioned recently that I had a party for my mom.
Yeah, you
I
did.
had to pay for my uncles to come to the party for their sister's birthday. What does that mean? I paid for their transport, go and
come back.
They were going to eat. They even took food home. I still had to pay them to come. Which, see,
So how far is too far?
you see,
Exactly.
at what point do we draw the line?
How far is too far?
At what point do we say that, okay, this black tax thing, no, madam, no, this boy is trying. Or, Asake has tried for the father. At what point do we draw the line?
So
do you understand what I'm saying?
Let's quickly hear from you, and then we'll take some comments on social media. And then we'll
I
wrap it
have
up.
bad news for you. There's no point.
So it just keeps going.
Yeah. See, that's the bad news. Because people like you that have a conscience, you get me? It gets to a point where even you are asking yourself, I can. Do you understand? I can't take this with me. Do you understand? That's why I said, when you're blessed, it's a blessing. But also there's a gift and a curse. If you cannot, see, Jack, I know the kind of person you are. You will provide, you will pay. Your mother's birthday next year, you will still do it. Will you not do it? It will pain you, but you will do it.
Yeah.
But let me tell you what will stop you from doing it. If you don't have the resources.
Yeah, if you don't have it. If you don't have it.
As long as you have the resources, Deck, you will do.
Okay. So
Your wife will say, don't do it again. As long as you can, Deck, you will. When you can't,
I find myself doing it.
do you understand? When you can't,
you know,
I
see,
know
let me
the
tell
choice, you won't do it.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. So, you know, the last time we talked about this, I told you about how my uncle was praying for me because I took care of my mom. I was saying that, I pray that you will do more and you will take care of my children. And I looked at him, I said, sir, am I the one that helped you to give birth to the children? I'm not going to do that.
Okay,
now, let me tell you something. Somebody told me, looked at me and said to me that, you're living a big life. You have money now. How can you not buy a house for your mother? I looked at myself. I said, bros, I never bought house for myself. Do you understand? I've not bought for myself. And you see, there's this exaggerated idea. I don't know whether to call it an idea, but I feel it's an over-bloated expectation that once you are doing well, you can buy a house, buy cars and this is what pushes people to do things that are illegal.
Yeah.
This is what pushes people to do
Yeah.
things that are undue pressure on people.
Yeah.
Just what I'm saying.
I feel on the final note that you have a choice to choose what you want to do, and you can only run your own race by yourself. With that being said, I need to take the comments on social media, and then yes, I need to intimate you on certain things that we do. We've got something called Just a Tip, which is like an overall, summation of everything we've talked about, and then you'll be taking Just a Tip.
Okay.
just some
tonight.
short advice.
Yes.
Don't-
just a tip.
not long,
Everything doesn't go
just
in.
short.
And of course,
Why do you people explain it to me? You put did not explain it.
Because it's new
my
now.
time.
Because
you people did not explain my time.
You were a tipster already.
No, I will tell you what it do. Just do your own.
And at the end of the show, we've got something called Toast of the Week. So we would vote on, something that we all want to toast to and celebrate for, this week. But before we do all of that, I'm just going to rush through this. We have at G-Lear, and it goes like this. Who is this boy called Peller? ? How long does he think he can sustain this social media influencing? I take God, Beguna, he ain't worth it. And then we have at DC. At DC says, the fact that people find this Peller funny is sad. This boy opens his mouth, and says all sorts of BS. That's from at DC. At Charlie says, I agree with gang. Give respect to these guys. They have entertained us for so many years. If you don't know them, don't assume they are up and coming.
Yeah.
Then at Motara778 says, regardless of what Asake's father did to him, he should never neglect him. God doesn't love it.
We're done.
Interesting take on that. At Shah Jai says, it's really sad that this is happening to Asake's dad, but we are uncertain as to the issues between them. Hopefully they can come to a reconciliation and Asake can do the needful before the man passes on. And then we have at Alicia Bolt. Interesting name. He may have been a good man, but not a good father. We never know. Still on that Asake story. At Fire, it says, let's wait for Ololade me to tell his own side of the story.
Exactly.
No just shook mouth for family matter.
Exactly.
All right, thank you all for this interesting feedback.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes, please.
There's a young lad out there that doesn't have the finances and resources, whose dad might be going through something that nobody knows and nobody sends.
Exactly what I said.
You get where I'm coming from?
What
all
if
of a
he's
sudden,
nobody?
once you blow, you have responsibility.
Exactly. That's the thing.
But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Exactly.
Let me tell you something. You know what? Sorry, quick one. You see, my godfather said something to me. He said, look, let me tell you something. Stop complaining that people are asking you for money. Be thankful, be grateful that you are the one that they're asking for money. You could be the one asking for money.
Oh, interesting. Thank you.
Good
All right, so we'll take just a tip quickly from Kingsley, and then we'll wrap up the show.
That would have been a good tip.
No, you don't want to.
You know what I
Keep it.
That tip would have been nice.
The tip has bended. It has bended.
Entry point.
So if a hook.
If we don't hook, that tip is not working. So Kingsley, can you give us just a tip for this evening?
So, so I'm supposed to give a one-liner.
Yes, please.
That summarized the evening.
Yes.
But we still have time though.
That's an interesting one.
Yes. Tip. Give us the tip.
Well,
my brother, you don't take long. This is your tip.
Let me see this one. Every man deserves respect, right?
That's correct.
I would say that every man deserves to be respected, because men go through a lot that most people don't know about. So if you see a man, don't just put him down because of where he is, because every man is a journey on the way to becoming.
Wow, thank you very much.
Can I add something?
No, you're not
please,
adding.
Please,
you're not adding.
Let me just add
You're pushing it inside.
Please.
Let
me just add something.
Oh Lord.
And I want to add something. You've spoken about men, and of course, I believe that's one of the things that we talk about. Well, I want to talk about this black tax thing. You see, if you're a child and you have dependents, people, extended family and what have you, please make sure you give what you have. Don't give what you don't have. Please. Thank you.
Okay. That sounded like a DP. Anyways, it's been an interesting edition of the Black Table, as always. But toast of the week quickly. Who are we toasting to, guys?
Runtown.
We're toasting to Runtown. Runtown is a fantastic artist.
Runtown, you're a fantastic artist.
We're looking forward to hearing from you again.
We can't wait to hear from you.
Great music.
He's such a talented artist.
Yeah.
Please, guys, don't forget to just check out Mad Over You. And you know how talented this amazing man is. Runtown.
I hope
big ups
Runtown
to you,
gets
man.
a resurgence.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay.
Cheers.
All right. With that being said, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for watching. You guys out there, we love the fact that you stay up to watch the show. And of course, we'll be back same time, same station next week. Remember, the darker the night, the brighter the stars. It is the Black Table. We'll see you next week.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good night, rich uncle.